Man series and owner of Hollow Man Publishing, and Frank Fiore, host of Frank Fiore Show. Frank, how are you? You know what?
Good.
Let's go AI, and I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut because it's supposed to help authors. But my headline tomorrow on the Artilla podcast that we're going to be live at about 8 a.m. because I had a busy day is going to be AI's gotten dumber. And but that's for tomorrow. That's tune in. But let's go with your questions for Dr. Mohammed for this week. Go
Oh,
ahead,
that's
Frank.
right.
What do you have question you have for Dr. Mohammed? I know you want to go into the more marketing side of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, let me get to our questions here. Um, I'm just not organized. Good old what's his name? Rob too. Real don't really know what to do about that. Um,
I can start if you want.
Yeah. So go,
yeah, why don't
Paul.
you start it?
Okay. Hi, Doctor.
Hi,
Um,
Paul.
can and how can AI help create funnels to convert book readers into sales, basically?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. So, uh, there is a first answer, is that AI alone cannot do that, but AI can be a piece of the puzzle, a big piece of puzzle with other systems to create the funnel. So it takes an infrastructure, a digital infrastructure, to go after the leads and then prepare them. And you need a database basically. And AI now works very well with the database and can pull from the database the names of the people or the statistics from your Amazon store or anything, and then help you convert into the funnel. So it's hard to say AI can create the funnel and convert for you, but definitely AI can be guided by an infrastructure and by a series of prompts where AI plays a very critical role in reducing the costs, increasing the conversion ratio, and also understanding the subtle semantics of when you send the first communication, and it will know if it's a yes or a no, if there is interest or not. It will be able to recognize intent and of based on the responses to better adapt the funnel. So that's usually how we use AI within the marketing sphere and to help convert in a funnel.
Okay, I found my questions. Okay,
Yes.
how can Dr. Muhammad, how can AI create urgency or scarcity in automated campaigns?
How it can create urgency and scarcity in
In
automated campaigns. Yeah,
automated.
so that's a very good question. It's a hard one. So I think it comes to the level of understanding that AI has in terms of creating a commercial offer that will create that sensation or that feeling of it's a limited edition, it's a limited time, there's only 20 in stock. I think that's where I see the AI helping you in creating that scarcity in the commercial offer design. Because in the implementation of the marketing campaign, it's just mechanical. But the way that you will draft your commercial offer with the AI, I think it could be able to find you the right semantic to create to generate that feeling in the buyer that, hey, I should grab it now before there's no more.
Well,
Does it make sense?
what about AI helping? Let's to convert books readers, get
Yeah.
those readers into coaching or course clients. If you wanted to create a coaching system, a coaching class, or
Mhm.
seminar, whatever, how can AI help you do that?
Yeah, so as a follow-up on Paul's question, so let's say you've built the funnel and AI helped you to find the sources or to get the data, to find the leads from who reads your books and bring them into a funnel, a newsletter, or anything of this kind. Um, you can still use AI can play a lot of roles, but you need to come up with processes and a strategy that you need to design. And what we discussed 2 weeks ago, they open a new way in ChatGPT web interface. It's not available in the API side, where any data you have about a reader, like first name, last name, and location, you can throw it at ChatGPT Premium, and it will find you the email, the phone number, and the contact details of that lead. So that's the first level where you can use ChatGPT web interface into getting those contacts, and then you throw them into your funnel. And once you throw them into your funnel, like we said with Paul, you will have what we call A/B testing. You can send this kind of message and that kind of message and send the statistics to the AI on who clicks more on this message, that message, and AI will allow you to refine your message based on the first 10% of sending that campaign. And then it will understand from the first sample of 10% what converts best. This is where we use AI to increase conversion.
You know, it's interesting. I wanted to jump into this because I'm
Yes, please.
intrigued by this. Is you're telling me now we can target just not just business to business, but consumer.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what happened in
It's gonna be
the latest.
crazy. It's gonna
Yeah.
break a lot of laws across the world. What's
So
going to
so
happen because you can get that information, then you can communicate with them in a cold way that's
that's
going to
right.
change advertising as we know it to getting hit
Oh,
up all
it
the time.
it has already started. So I think the argument is that that was public data. It was made public by the user or by somebody else because ChatGPT and the others, they kind of crawled the whole web, all the websites on the internet, they crawled them and they find Mohammed Esfi and this phone number are correlated. And then it just gives us the phone number of Mohammed Esfi or of Paul Hollis because it was published. So I think that's where it's like a bit of a gray zone, but mechanically it is available right now and could be used to find leads and then convert them.
Oh,
Paul, do you
Yeah.
have Paul, do you have a question?
For me, yeah. I've got an interesting one here for you. I hear a lot these days of authors being frustrated with sort of how Amazon put places your book in different areas, and depending on the categories, you got to choose the right categories, the keywords, and all that sort of thing. Is there a way, an a way of automation that can support authors who want to directly sell books?
From your own channels, your own website
Yeah,
outside
as
of Amazon.
opposed to the big authority now, which is Amazon sort of thing.
Yeah, I think first from a strategic point of view, it's always good to be on a marketplace like Amazon, but to have also your direct sales channels. Like any business should have this, not rely on only one source. Like you don't put all your eggs in one basket, yeah? So I see two layers where AI can help you. First, in defining like an omni-channel marketing strategy for your book based on the first sales you got from Amazon. You can feed that data to the AI and it will tell you, yeah, you could do a WordPress website or open a Facebook page or do this and do that. It could help you at the planning level. But then you will still need an infrastructure to sell outside of Amazon. So Amazon provides you the market and the infrastructure for the billing, taking the orders, and then settling payments. You will need to build that same infrastructure on your own with a Shopify website or an e-commerce website like WordPress. AI can help you on how to set it up. If you buy a hosting, it can guide you step by step on how to set up a Shopify website or a WooCommerce, how to list your books, and then how to drive traffic to your own channels. So it will not do the job for you unless you use tools like Replit. I don't know if Neil, you had the chance to use tools like Replit. So
no.
Replit is kind of a wrapper on top of AI models like Claude and ChatGPT. It will take your instructions and you say, I want to build a website to sell my book, and I want to have multiple variations like hardcover and digital, and they will have different prices and so on. And then it can actually develop a database, set up the database for you, develop the pages, develop a design, and pop up a website for you based on your language, based on language analysis. So it doesn't work always out of the box 100%, but it can get you 80% on the way of creating that e-commerce. It can even install and connect for you the payment with Stripe. It will ask you, Paul, go here, open an account with Stripe, get the API key, and then feed it to me. And then you feed the API key, and then they connect Stripe for payments. So I would say AI through Replit or other, it's called IDE builders, can help you build a new system.
Mhm.
Following on from that, I mean, that's an excellent answer. Following on from that is that can AI help an author who doesn't want to, that sounds like to me it kind of quote unquote sounds like work, right? To be able to do that. So is there a
Yeah.
way that the AI can help an author choose the right categories, to choose the right keywords, that kind of thing, to sort of help them get into better positions so that when readers are asking for something, they pop up, right? Their books
Yeah.
pop up.
Oh, well, the general AIs like ChatGPT, Claude, because they scrape the whole web, they actually understand very well the categories of Amazon because they know all the categories of Amazon. And there are some tools. I forgot the name. There are some tools like Terapic, it's called Terapic, and the other one is there are some tools that can give you statistics on Amazon book sales, and you can see the evolution of the sales if there is a season, and you can see at which price your competitor was selling. So if you can subscribe to that service, I can find them back to you, and then you download the data of your competitor into a CSV or an Excel. You feed it to ChatGPT and you tell it, explain to me which ones are making more sales than others and why. What is it that makes more sales? Is it the category? The titles are written in a specific way? Is it the pricing? Below a certain price, the sales skyrocket. Above a certain price, it goes down. It does that for e-commerce. I've used it for e-commerce and it gives some amazing insights. And then it will tell you, change the title to this, choose this category as the primary category, this as second category, this as the third and not the other way around, and use this in the description, and do not do this and put bullet points in your description. It will give you like a very advanced analysis on how to list your book.
Mhm. That
Great.
that's key thing, that you don't need these other tools that are available. You still got to think out of the box. That's the big frustration. It's all about the prompt still. We thought maybe
Yeah,
we were
definitely
going
the prompts. Yeah.
in, we thought maybe and it's becoming more and more of the prompt. That's going to be part of my theme tomorrow. It's going to be all about the prompt again.
Yes, and the
And,
more and to surf on that, Neil, the more you sophisticate your prompt, and the more context you provide. So, for example, you work out your prompt so that the AI can go and fetch sources because now you can fetch data from the web. So you can say, here are my 10 competitors, and I want you to do an analysis and so on, and you give the links to the other Amazon books
yep.
that you want to match, and it will.
See, that's interesting, and it used to be able to be done with voice, and voice is going to him haw a lot about doing that. But yes, if you prompt it in 4.5, you can get those things done. And it's
Yeah.
again, you're not going to get the result the first time. And Paul and Frank, I'm going to ask you that question. What if you don't get the result 3 or 4 times? How frustrating would that make you? And would you continue to try if you didn't get the right result 3 or 4 times? I'm going to ask that to Frank, then Paul.
Well, that's you never give up. You keep trying. That's all, because you hope that you'd hit that sweet spot. Like I would like to know how to get my books ranked higher. Paul used a concept that worked for him, in Amazon. And can AI help you, uh, give you some strategies, maybe it's the keywords, in order to get your books ranked higher on Amazon than your competitors, or just not competitors, but just ranked higher?
Yeah, definitely. So the answer is yes. From all the text information, title, descriptions, pricing, this is all text inputs into the Amazon marketplace. But you also have to remember that the thumbnail, the image, plays a big role in people clicking in the first place. So you could also leverage ChatGPT and show it, here are my competitors' front book design, and then here are their sales. Can you find me some merging styles in the way that they design their book cover that could explain why this sells more? Because this has more red, or this has more rectangular shapes, or this has more green and more humans in the pictures. So there are things in the images that the AI can recognize and tell you as well. And I think I would say about just rule of thumb, about 30% of the decision making of clicking in a book is the title and then the image, because that's the first thing that people see when they search. They don't read yet the synopsis or the preface. They see an image and they see a title, and you need to catch them with at that level first.
Okay. Paul?
Great answer. The way
Thank
I
you.
look at AI, when I first started with AI, you get frustrated because it's like I'm asking you a question and you're not getting to the right detail kind of thing. But now, having a little bit of experience with it, I look at it the opposite way, and
Hmm.
I'm looking at it as I'm not asking the right questions
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, you keep trying and it's like and you tell it, you have the conversation. It's smart enough to know that you can say, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something with this particular word, using this
Yes.
particular word kind of thing. So it's really about, for me, it's about finding the right. See, it's kind of a contest where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get down to this right and get it right so that I'm communicating with AI in a proper way. And so I just kind of look at it like that. It's kind of a challenge and a I'm not asking the right question is how I look at it now. So,
I think that's the right attitude. And maybe I can share something, Neil, we can cover it also more tomorrow. Like, I don't know how it works algorithmically and programmatically, how the AI works behind for this particular thing that I'm going to share with you. But I noticed that some AI models, they reach a level of tiredness. Like after an hour or 2 hours of prompting them, they start to give completely wrong answers. And then sometime I stop for 3, 4 hours. I come back, the same question, I get the right answer. So there is something weird that is happening. And I notice for me, because I'm in Mauritius, is when I prompt the AI during the peak hours of the US market, the head
Mm,
of the AI is like,
I'm seeing conspiracies like that.
no,
Yes.
no, no, because the number of users that are
Yes,
prompting the
yeah,
same
and
data
that's the
center,
problem. And that's when
yeah,
advanced voice was really cool. And they changed the advanced voice because they were slowing down and on a peak hour on Saturday,
exactly. Peak
couldn't
hours
even
is a
get
big
on
problem.
advanced voice. OpenAI screwed. I'm gonna predict this. They're the next MySpace.
They
I'm
need to
putting this
double
out
their
there
data
right now.
centers.
I'm putting that out there right now. And I'm already going after them on Twitter. I'm already going out there. The next MySpace, they can't survive. They should have sold to one of the major companies. They are the clubhouse of AI. So here's my comparison: MySpace, Clubhouse, two platforms that should have
For sure.
sold because they don't have the money to keep up with this
Ah, yes. They should
competition.
have done an exit
They should have done an
at the right
exit,
time.
and I'm seeing the
Yeah.
death of OpenAI, and you've heard it first, and it happened, and it came out if you listen to my podcast with Christopher Richards as well. But the good news, guys, is there's going to be so many free platforms where authors are going to be able to do what they need to do, and
Yeah.
then there's going to be other platforms for people who want to write code, who want to build websites, who want to do really detailed stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen is that you're going to have 10 subscriptions
Yeah, they're gonna be a multiplicity.
of
Yeah.
large language models. That's
yeah,
coming. But again, OpenAI, it may be Elon was planning this. He might be working on the back end to take everyone out. And he's telling everyone this is the secrets of OpenAI. This is how we can crush them. Just give them some time. They're not going to develop enough. Let them be first to the party. But the problem was they don't have anything else. If they had something else, maybe, but the money is so higher in those other companies. But it's interesting what Dr. Muhammad spotted this week. So that's not, I'm not just going crazy. All
No,
right,
no,
let's go back.
there is like a sort of an outage or they have definitely an
Oh, they were
infrastructure
having
issue.
problems since their last update, and then they made it dumber. But okay, let's go
Oh,
back to next questions for authors. Because the good news is authors, you can use any platform. You just
yeah,
have to prompt it right. You're going to get enough of an answer that you're going to get the knowledge of multiple people, and you don't have to have the genius model at this early phase of your author career.
indeed.
Go ahead, guys. More questions for Mohammed.
Um, okay. Again, getting back to sales and marketing, okay?
Yeah.
Uh, again, I think this question's come up before, but I want to return to it. How can authors use AI to analyze book sales or working with Amazon as far as your where you're
Hmm.
ranking? All right, and I want to give it more process. Okay, you got your book out, you ranked 1,623 in under Westerns or whatever, and you want to get your book ranked higher. You ask AI that simple question: how do I rank my book in Amazon higher? What do you think it's going to respond with?
Yeah, so like let's revisit one of the answers that we had is like I think you should split it into two steps. A first step is where you use the AI for planning purposes, like the strategic, the vision strategy level and the plan. So what I do personally, when I do it for coding or for e-commerce, I ask the AI, I have this to sell. These are my competitors. These are the context of the market. Here is the data that I have at the moment. Give me a plan that we can execute to increase our conversion or our sales. So it will give you a plan like a 10-step plan. Then save that into a Word document and then refresh your interaction with the AI and then feed it the Word document with the plan and tell it, okay, help me now implement this plan step by step. Give me the tasks I need to run for every step, and then we will proceed step by step. Because I notice if you don't ask the AI step by step, it will overload you with so many things to do that you can't even act. And that's like an organizational step or methodology that you have to put in place. And then also on your side, you keep a track that step one is done and you mark it in the Word document. And then next time you come back the next day, you say, here's what we've done yesterday. Well, now we need step two so that the AI will refresh its memory to know that what was done and to do a better step two. That's how I do personally for programming because I noticed when I ask 3 changes at the same time, it gets 2 wrong and 1 right. Or sometimes when it does the first one successfully, when it goes to the second step, it rewrites the first step. And then you're like consistently going forth and back, and it's destroying its own work as you proceed.
Okay. Paul, do you have a question?
Um, let's see. What is there an easy way uh, to to sort of clone a high performing marketing sequence to for your book, right? So if you see if you see someone that has, wow, this marketing looks like it's really working, is there a way that you can say, hey, I need something that works like that?
Yeah, so that's another good question and another good use case for AI is that AI is very good at reverse engineering strategies. So you can give it a final outcome, a successful competitor, and then you list all the books and the sales and whatever and their visuals, and you gather all that and you throw it to the AI. You can put maybe 20 files in a chat with ChatGPT or Claude, and you tell it reverse engineer for me how they were able to reach these sales and what I need to do to achieve the same. And it will probably find some things that we will miss as humans. So I think yes, reverse engineering marketing strategies, AI is quite good at that and quite how you say in English, cunning. It understands the competitivity objectives, and then it will find some tricks to position you better,
Great.
if it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Thanks.
Welcome.
Uh,
And that's the, go ahead, Frank. Mhm.
One thing that on the side, uh, you may think that you would like your story or your book turn into a movie, and you don't know how to write a screenplay. And AI will do that for you. It'll actually write a screenplay off your book
Oh
and
yeah,
put
yeah, yeah.
that fascinating, and then you can see it operate. Yeah, well, what's also good. Screenplays are mostly dialogue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the middle, the beginning of a scene, you'll set up the scene, who's doing what, and then it's just talk, 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 talk. Would be interesting for you to run your book through AI, ask for the screenplay, and see how much dialogue is in there. And by just reading the dialogue, does that
Yeah.
tell you the story? All right. If you read that screenplay and read the dialogue, you say, wait a minute, what happened to all that other stuff I wrote? Because AI took it out, saying that's not a screenplay information. You need the
Mhm.
dialogue. So it's kind of an interesting test to see what your book looks like in the screenplay, and you realize you don't have enough dialogue, or it doesn't make sense.
Yes, yes. And also sometimes when you feed your the whole book, like we feed like a whole 10,000 lines of codes or more, sometimes when you give an instruction to add something, it will remove something else, or it will omit something else that you had in the book. So I noticed that many times to solve this problem in my prompts, I always ask the AI, keep 100% of the semantic, keep 100% of the story, keep 100% of the functionalities, and only add, do not subtract or ignore parts, because it tends to, my feeling is that it wants to save on memory load, and then it was trained to replace only the places where that needs replacement. So it will tell you like, I modified chapter 1 and I rewrite, and then chapter 3 and 4 is now just 3 dots, stay as before. And sometimes you don't realize, but it converted one of your chapter with like same as before. And at the end, your book was 400 pages. You were supposed to add 50, and now you have 350 after adding the 50 instead of 450. So you have to be very careful. It tends to eat up its own tail, and you have to really guide it for that. So I think the concept is 100% conservation. You have to manifest that in your prompt. I want to keep 100% of my dialogues. I want to keep 100% of my storyline. Just add it in case.
Interesting.
These
wild.
AIs are getting wild.
It's getting wild. It's the wild, wild west, and we're all part of it in a certain way.
Yes.
Definitely the wild, wild west. And last question to finish up.
Uh, how
Any
about
other things?
how about email lists? I know those are like the most damaging thing, one of the most damaging things that authors can hear and try to do. Is there a way that you can sort of automate that process to build and interact with an email list, sort of thing?
Yes, so here again, you have half of the answer is going to be a system, an emailing system, an infrastructure, and half of the other equation is the AI to guide you on how to first get people to give you their emails. You need like to offer something to create the input to the funnel. So AI can help you. So for example, one of I don't know how much this is applicable to the book and your industry, but when you're selling a digital content, what we've used to do is that we create mini contents that we give away for free. So freebies, I think it's called in English. So you can use freebies as teasers and so on. And then if you want more, subscribe to our newsletter to get the next whatever it is. So you bring them in, and once you bring them into the newsletter and they opted for it, then you can start to have that
Okay.
that emailing campaign in the proper way.
All right. Best place to go is Artilla, RTILA.com, FrankFiore.com, and the HoloMan series.com. Appreciate it, guys.